Hello and welcome back to our Yakuza 4 Remastered playthrough. In our last episode, we dealt with the domestic problems of hostesses. And then helped Lily accidentally become quite popular in our own little club. So go us. Then right near the end we went to collect on one of our debts. On one of our loans that they were in debt to us too. They weren't home, but we popped into the bar next door and we found someone stripped to his knickers and left dead for several days. So now we're hightailing it as fast as we can back to our office, as you can see, so that the cops don't decide to suspect me of doing for him as well. So let's go back to the office, shall we? See what Hana-chan is doing. And yes, I have taken off the thing that makes that rather annoying sound whenever there is a key nearby, so yep, we don't have to worry about that anymore. Upstairs we go.
参った参った。ちょっと花ちゃん大変だよ。花ちゃん、花ちゃん、しっかりしろ。
社長、お帰りなさい。
一体何があったんだ。
それが。ああ、木戸さん、ごめんなさい。ちょっと買い物に行ってて。
すいません。勝手にお邪魔してます。
社長、今ちょっと取り立ての仕事に出かけちゃってて。でもそんなに長くはかからないと思うから待っててください。お茶出しますね。
お構いなく。
どうしたんですか？何か忘れ物とか？
いや、ちょっと秋山さんに確認し忘れたことがあって、携帯にかけたんですけど繋がらなくて。
そうでしょう。社長、いっつも寄り道して遊んでるのを邪魔されるのが嫌で携帯の電源切ってるんですよ。おかげで仕事が片付かない。
秋山さんらしいですね。お客さんって感じじゃねえな。
また降りない人たちだな。すみませんけど帰ってもらえます？社長も外出してますし、それでも用があるって言うんなら私が相手に。
危ない、花ちゃん。花ちゃん。
Yeah, she probably should have seen that coming, to be honest, after last time. Anyway, back in the present, Hana says, "Sorry, Chief, I tried to stop them, but..." Akiyama says, "No, I should have been here to protect you. I'm the one who should apologize." Was it those Shibata goons again? Hana says, "No, it was some guy named Midorikawa from the Hatsushiba clan." I actually got that right first time. Akiyama asks, "Hatsushiba clan?" Hana says, "That's right. He said something about their boss and Shibata being really tight. The guy really knew how to run his mouth. He kept telling me stuff I didn't even ask about. It sounds like that Tsushiba clan is helping the Shibata family track down Kido-san." Akiyama asks, they're after Kido-chan? Where is he anyway? Hana says, that's just it. Kido-san was here when they showed up. Midorikawa's guys jumped him, then they hauled him off to who knows where. Akiyama asks, they took Kido-chan? Hana says, they did. He didn't stand a chance. He was completely outnumbered. Akiyama says, Hana says, Chief? Akiyama says, oh, sorry, just thinking about something. So they took Kido-chan. Question is, why? Hana says, no idea. Oh, that Midorikawa guy also stole our client registry. It sounded like that's what brought them here in the first place. He said he was just borrowing it, but I seriously doubt he'll be bringing it back anytime soon. Perhaps we can charge him late fees. Akiyama asks, our registry? What would they want with that? Hana says, who knows? I'm more worried about Kido-san. Akiyama says, agreed. Sounds like I need to pay those Hatshiba-goons a little visit. Collect on what they borrowed. Hana says, go get 'em, Chief. Just don't do anything crazy, okay? Akiyama says, I'm not going to leave you like this, Hana-chan. Where the hell are the cops? Didn't anyone see those bastards bust in? That actually is a good point. Hana says, don't worry about me. I already called for an ambulance. Akiyama says, you really are on top of everything, aren't you? Well, sit tight. I'm going to go get Kido-chan and get that registry back. Hana says, you got it, Chief. We need to chase Midorikawa. Akiyama thinks to himself, better start looking for leads on Midorikawa. An energetic foreigner says, man oh man, the perfect shot's so close I can almost smell it. Or did I forget to wear deodorant? The energetic foreigner says, you there, did you see those tough dudes flashing their muscles like it's nobody's business? Nothing quite as dangerous as a thug with something to prove. But hey, that's what Kamurocho's all about. The glitz, the glamour, the gigantic guys shaking down passers-by. Not that I like that last part. Akiyama thinks to himself, tough dudes? Maybe he's talking about Midorikawa. Akiyama says, hold on there, buddy. Do you think we can talk for a sec? So we're now on the rooftops, talking to this, I assume, African-American bloke. Akiyama says, sorry for flagging you down like that. Mind if we chat for a few? The energetic foreigner says, of course not. I love talking to washed-up porn stars. I'm Mac, photographer by trade, observer of humanity at heart, and I mean all of humanity. Akiyama says, right. And sorry to break it to you, but I'm actually a moneylender. I run a place called Sky Finance right over there. The name's Akiyama. I was hoping you'd be able to fill me in on those tough dudes you were talking about before. Max says, sure thing, Slick. These scary-looking dudes were filing down the street one after the other like the world's least cheerful conga line. I wasn't sure what was happening, but I knew something mega was about to hit. I was practically quaking in my sensible boots. Akiyama says, back up a second. You mentioned something about a shop too. Do you take pictures of this kind of stuff as it goes down? Max says, these aren't any old pictures, man. I've been travelling the world for what feels like eons searching for the photographed end-all photographs. The perfect shot. Akiyama says, aha. Max says, look at me running my mouth like it's a dang marathon. Akiyama-san, have you ever seen a sight so incredible it made you realise something about the nature of the world? Akiyama says, not that I can remember. Max says, folks call these revelations, a flash of inspiration, a spark in the old noggin, a rush of idea juice flooding your mind. Akiyama says, yeah, that's definitely never happened to me before. Max says, then maybe it's about time it does, and what's more, these revelations hold the key to the perfect shot. I'm sure of it. Akiyama says, yeah, sure, I'll keep that in mind. Anyway, about those tough dudes you mentioned. Max says, hold up, the greatest idea just snapped across my neurons. Maybe you can help me try to find the perfect shot. Akiyama says, I mean, sure, but I'd really rather just hear about... Max says, then it's settled. Come on, it's hunting time, and we're hunting the biggest game of all, art. Akiyama thinks to himself, guess I'm just going to have to put up with this nut job for now. Max says, don't look now, Akiyama-san, but I just caught a glimpse of something good. Train your eyes on that roof over there. Yes? Max says, something's up with that lady, and you're gonna snap a shot of whatever it is. All you gotta do is whip it out, your phone I mean, and etch that moment into digital divinity. Don't worry, the government probably won't see your photos later. Akiyama says, my phone camera, huh? Alright, I'll see what I can do. Revelations. You can learn new techniques from revelations gained by witnessing particularly inspiring events around the city. Press R3 when you see something of interest to switch to first-person mode. Use the right stick to control the camera. When look is displayed on the top right of the screen in first-person mode, you'll have a chance to have a revelation. Look for the button icon. First, Akiyama will take out his cell phone. Press the buttons displayed on the screen to take a picture of the decisive moment. If you successfully enter the correct buttons for all 3 pictures, you'll be given a multiple-choice question. Select the correct answer to have a revelation and learn a new technique. Max says, just ask me if you're shooting in the dark, and I can recite all that to you verbatim. Really, every word will be exactly the same. Yes, it will. So I need to... look around. And find out what's wrong with her. Oh my. Yeah, those leaps and bounds were something else. Okay. To Mac, I've seen the light. Hey Mac, is this the kind of mail you want? Man, there really are some perverted freaks in Kamurocho. But I was able to unlock a new technique from his movements. They were almost a work of art. It's a revelation. I mean, that has to be the most artistic snowdropper I have ever seen. Anyway, we've learned the essence of triple strike. Max says, "Wowee, Akiyama-san, you really did it. I think I'm ready to let my photographic prodigy out in the wild. Guess that means old Mac is an empty nester again." Akiyama says, there, big guy. I'll text you whenever I find a new shot, okay? It'll be like I never left. Anyway, think you can tell me about those guys you were talking about before?" Max says, "Oh, right. It totally slipped my mind. I saw them clamber down the stairs and out onto Tenkaichi Street, but I lost them right after that. Hard to see through all the buildings, you know." Akiyama says, "Tenkaichi Street. Got it. But that's not much of a lead, but at least it's something. Thanks for the info, Mac." Max says, "You got it, Akiyama-san. May your humble camera lead you to unforgettable discoveries." All the stuff about Revelations has been added as a memo. So now we're back down on the street level, and Akiyama is thinking to himself, I need to find Kido-chan and our client registry. But I have no idea where that Midorikawa guy went. Better start asking around. And we've got some email. Oh, the Perfect Shot newsletter from Mac. Looking for that perfect shot? Then have I got the newsletter for you. This week brings two beauties. First up, we have a kidnapper who's taken to the rooftops. You can also see a sexy detective facing off against the kidnapper in question. Definitely a sight to see. And for number two, a married couple wages a bitter war in Little Asia that would shock a kung fu action star. I just can't get enough. Okay. Let's start asking around then. Akiyama asks, "Hey, you got a second?" The businessman says, "Sure, how can I help you?" Akiyama asks, "Did you see a group of Yakuza come by here maybe 2-3 hours ago?" The businessman asks, "Yakuza?" Akiyama says, "You know you're in Kamurocho, right? That shouldn't be such a surprise. Oh, and they were probably dragging someone behind them." The businessman says, there was something going on over here earlier. I could hear the shouting all the way over in Nakamichi Street." Akiyama says, "Nakamichi? So you didn't see anything then?" The businessman says, "Oh, heavens no. If I had, I certainly wouldn't be standing here now like nothing happened. I usually turn heel and run when I see fights breaking out." Akiyama says, "Okay then. Thanks anyway." Well, realistically, that bloke in the raincoat probably would have seen something, but apparently we can't talk to him. So you with the epilepsy, do you know anything? Yakuza in the Know says Sky Finance got caught up in some trouble, but honestly, I'm not surprised. That Akiyama's a real strange guy. Punk says, "You know that Akiyama guy, Aniki?" Yakuza in the Know says, "Course I do. Ain't no one in the Kamurocho underworld who hasn't heard of him. But I'd keep my distance if I were you." The punk says, "Yeah? I heard some Yakuza group busted into his place though." Yakuza in the Know says, "The rich never gotta fight their own battles. It's just stupid to start messing with them. Believe me, you don't want to ruffle Akiyama's feathers. I'd never do anything stupid like that." I'd get that epilepsy seen too, mate. You're twitching too much. Akiyama says, "Excuse me, do you have a moment?" Hairbun high school girl says, what's up? Akiyama asks, "Have you seen a group of Yakuza around here? They probably had someone who looked all beat up with them." Short-haired high school girl says, "Oh yeah, I saw them. They were dragging some guy through town." Hairbun high school girl says, "They were really scary. They kept telling him to walk faster." Akiyama asks, "See where they went?" Short-haired high school girl says, "They went up the street, toward the theatre." Hairbun high school girl says, "They really stood out. I bet a lot of other people saw them too." Akiyama says, "That right. Okay, thanks. Guess we're heading towards Theatre Square then." Silver-tongued hostess says, "This moneylender's been in one mess after another. I think it's called Sky Finance." Businessman with the thinning wallet said, "Yeah, I heard about that murder from a bit ago." Silver-tongued hostess says, "Maybe it was money problems? Just shows you shouldn't take out a loan from this kind of place." Businessman with the thinning wallet says, "Yeah, I think the problem is more with murder than their ability to finance a loan." Probably, yes. Madam, you look fairly reliable. Did you see anything? Akiyama says, "Excuse me, miss, you didn't happen to see some shady-looking guys roll through here a while ago, did you? I'm talking Yakuza types." Businesswoman said, "You're a businesswoman?" Okay, no, fine. Businesswoman says, "Oh, I did. I'm pretty sure they were headed towards Theatre Square." Akiyama asks, "Really? Thanks." The businesswoman says, "Of course. Good luck." "I don't like the way you said that, my dear." So, let's enter here and have something to eat. We'll eat here, thank you, Mr. Employee. Yes, we will order now. Alright, that's what we were doing. We were looking for yakiniku. Can't eat it. Alright, thank you very much. Akiyama thought that was very tasty. Akiyama says, "Sorry to bother you, miss, but have you seen anyone who looks like Yakuza around here lately? It would have been a group of them." The woman says, "Yakuza? As a matter of fact, I just saw some men like that over in Theatre Square. They were humongous. Nobody in their right mind would go anywhere near those brutes." Akiyama says, guess I'm not in my right mind then. Anyway, thanks." The woman says, "Please be careful." My, that's a very lovely handbag you have, sir. Akiyama says, "Sorry, mind if I ask you a question? Did you see any Yakuza-looking guys around here?" Businessman says, "Oh, all the time. This is Kamurocho we're talking about here. Why, did something happen?" They took a friend of mine, might get... On the other end, he is a businessman. So we'll try the account book first. Akiyama says, "Yeah, they stole my account book." The businessman says, "What? That's terrible. An account book is a company's lifeblood. That's why we say in my line of work. That's what we say in my line of work, at least." Akiyama says, agreed. I can't run my business without it. The businessman says, those guys over there look like trouble. See them? The Yakuza-looking brutes in the middle of the square? They're definitely up to something. Kept going on about busting up some finance company. Akiyama asks, what? Businessman says, kind of suspicious, don't you think? Maybe you should go see what they're up to. Akiyama says, yeah, I'll do that. Thanks. Yeah, you don't look like the guys who busted in. But anyway. Akiyama says, excuse me, fellas, mind if I have a word? Beefy Thug says, huh? What the hell do you want? Akiyama says, you wouldn't happen to be the strapping young men who paid Sky Finance a little visit earlier, would you? Beefy Thug says, what the? How do you know about that? Kobayashi says, oh, sorry I'm late. Hold up. What are you doing here, Akiyama? Akiyama says, hey, didn't I kick your ass the other day? You're that guy from Kamurocho Loans. Kobayashi, was it? Kobayashi says, damn right, I still owe you for that. Funny, me and my friend here were just talking about smashing Sky Finance into the ground, but if you're here, we can cut out the middleman and just smash you instead. Apparently. Ito says, yeah, we're going to teach you a lesson for messing with us. Takahashi says, you hear that? This is the Akiyama asshole we're telling you about. Fuck him up real good. The Beefy Thug says, Akiyama, yeah. Look, it's nothing personal, man. These guys are paying me to kick your ass, so I'm going to have to kick your ass. Akiyama sighs. Here we go again. And so we fight some Yakuza. Over here, my friend. Enjoy this brick wall. Thank you. Beefy Thug screams, what the hell, Kobayashi? You didn't tell me he was some kind of freak. I'm gonna have nightmares about those feet, man. This is some real shit, dude. I'm out of here. And they bugger off. Kobayashi says, shit. Akiyama asks, why go through all this trouble? I thought I told you to stay out of my way. I mean, it can't be good for someone in your line of work to look like a wimp, and half the town just saw you get your asses handed to you. Won't be long before word gets out. I can guarantee you no one's going to be afraid of a bunch of toothless loan sharks. Kobayashi says, damn it. Akiyama says, tell you what, you guys leave town right now, and I'll let you off the hook. Ito says, he's right. We're not going to get any more customers here. We can start fresh somewhere else. Takahashi says, yeah, sounds good. I'm sick of this Kamurocho shit anyway. What do you say, Kobayashi-chan? Kobayashi says, alright, fine. Okay, Akiyama-san, we'll leave, but mark my words, we're coming back to Kamurocho someday. And when we do, we're going to be big. So big, we'll make you look like just another no-name street punk. Just you wait. Akiyama says, you know where to find me. Kobayashi says, oh, and here's a tip for you. I saw some Yakuza pricks roll through here a little while ago. Akiyama asks, what? Kobayashi says, yeah, and one of them was pretty banged up too. Heard him say something about Sky Finance, which obviously got my attention. Akiyama asks, any idea where they went? Kobayashi says, down below the theatre. You can get there by going past the lockers. Akiyama says, okay, thanks for the tip. Kobayashi says, see you round, Akiyama-san. And they bugger off too. Akiyama says to himself, looks like Midorikawa and his boys got to the theatre underground by heading past the coin lockers. I'd better hurry. Akiyama says to himself, there's something here. We got Taihei Boulevard locker key H4. Yay! What do you have to say for yourself, sir? Homeless man says, ugh, I'm so thirsty. I think I drank too much. I feel sick. Hey, you there. Do you think you could get me something to drink? And don't worry, I don't expect you to do it for free. I'll pay you back. You always treat me nice, so I owe you anyway. I'll be waiting right here for that drink. Okay. Sorry. Now, there's an M store or a Popo around here somewhere, isn't there? Ah, there we go. Man says, you must be the arsehole who's tearing up our turf. Know what happens to people who fuck with us? Well, we'll show you. If you say so, dude. Come over here. See this light pole? We missed it entirely. Oh, we got a new level. Look at us go. It says, shit, what's a guy like him doing here anyway? Look, just take this and get the hell out of here, alright? We got a hot off the press 20,000 yen. Yes, if you could please just keep assaulting us, that would be appreciated. Our bank account could definitely do with it. Now, have you found that Sheila from 1988, sir? It looked much more kindly and consumer-friendly than you do. No? Okay then. Look, I'll buy you sake and I'll buy you some green tea. How about that? Yes, please find the cute chick from before. Oh, the manager says thank you very much. You're Akiyama-san, right? We really appreciate your frequent visits to our store. You may not remember, but you've actually helped me out in the past. I was able to turn over a new leaf because of the money that you lent me. Thanks to you, I'm the manager of this store now. Well, if you're the manager of the store, can you get the cute chick back from 1988, please? The manager continues, now it's my turn to pay you back. I'll be there for you if you ever get caught in a fight nearby. The manager of Popo Tenkaichi Street is now your ally. Okay. Not all your cat pictures. Homeless man says, "Ah, there you are. Did you get me something to drink?" "What shall I give?" thinks Akiyama. "Let's have this sake." Homeless man says, "Oh, thank you. I knew you'd come through. I got your back no matter what happens. I'll be there for you if you ever get caught in a fight nearby. The homeless man in Theatre Square is now your ally." Homeless man continues to say, "By the way, you know about the Dragon Palace?" Akiyama asks, "The Dragon Palace? Isn't that some famous castle or something?" The homeless man says, "Nah, it's a little hangout spot for us homeless to get together and run some games of chance. Think of it like an arcade, but for grown-ups." Akiyama says, "I never heard about it when I was homeless." Homeless man says, "That's so? Well, it's the building just northeast of here. The place was abandoned in the middle of getting built up. You're a good guy. I'll tell him to let you in. You definitely got to stop by." Akiyama says, "I see. Thanks for that. I'll check it out sometime." And on we go. We need to... Idle Blogger says, "Oh my gosh, you have to see my avatar. I made it the other day on... Hey, isn't it like the cutest thing ever?" Blog Reader says, "Whoa, it looks exactly like you. Wait, what's A?" Idle Blogger says, "What? I thought you said you read my blog. I've only been talking about it for like ever. Are you seriously even a fan?" Blog Reader says, huh? You haven't updated your blog at all in the last couple of weeks. Thought you'd like given up on blogging or something." The Idle Blogger says, "Oh my gosh, I posted on my old blog that I was starting a new one on a blog. There was even a link. Did you even read the top post?" Blog Reader says, "Oh, I must have missed it. So, wait, you've been doing all your blogging on a blog now?" Idle Blogger says, "Yeah, once you make an A account, you can make your own cute little avatar and then use it to chat with your friends or play games and stuff." Blog Reader says, "So wait, if I made an A, I could play games with you online?" Idle Blogger says, "Yep." Blog Reader says, "Cool, I'm going to make one then." Akiyama thinks to himself, "A sounds like something the girls at the club would be into." And yes, I have forgotten where it is that we are meant to be going. Theatre Underground. Right. It's over there. Good old memory. Probably those homeless dudes I just left behind. Or is it through here? No. Sorry. Akiyama says, "Hey pal, you see some Yakuza come through here?" Homeless man says, oh, you bet. That's a sheep of punks. Akiyama says, I knew it. Listen, I need to get by. The homeless man says, sorry, no can do. Akiyama asks, why not? The homeless man says, the Hatsushiba boys locked the door down below after they passed through, and let me tell you, that door ain't nothing if not sturdy. Akiyama says, damn it, what now? Homeless man says, hold your horses. We can't stand those jerks, so we'll give you whatever help we can. The tunnels here connect with the basement levels of the Millennium Tower. All you gotta do is find the elevator at the back of the tower, and you're golden. That'll take you right down to where you need to go. Akiyama says, perfect, thanks. Homeless man says, that was our home before those Hatsushiba snots booted us out. If you help us return the favor, we can finally get it back. Akiyama says, oh yeah? Well, no guarantees, but I'll see what I can wrangle. Guess we'd better head for the Millennium Tower's backside. Problem is, I know what I'm looking for. Oh. Man says, you ain't liking what you're seeing, huh? You've been eyeing me all over. You're saying I done something, huh? I've been asking you real kind like, and you give me that lip? How about I slap your shit? If that's really what you want to do? Again, we don't kink shame. Excuse me, his place is here. Oh, no it's not. Yeah, it is. Man puffs, I'm done. I'm really done. This here ain't much, but take it as my apology. Please forgive me. We got a filthy Turner Plus. Yay. Oh yes, of course, it's the opposite direction. If I'd just walked a little further, I would have been able to see Shinra Tower. Man says, excuse me, do you know who I am? I can't remember anything. Wait, I do remember something. I used to beat the crap out of people on the street. Oh, that's an interesting thing to remember. Particularly right then. See this taxi here? Go to the hospital in it. The man says, stop, I remember now. I remember everything. Please, take this if you'd like. You cured my amnesia after all. We got a nice 10,000 yen. That was nice of him, yes. Okay, so there's a lift here. Sorry. Ah, this would be a lift. Akiyama thinks to himself, this is my way down to the theatre underground. Well, time to get going. And we are down beneath the theatre district. There's a train down there. Yeah, that would be the way out, I'm guessing. So we don't want to go that way. Okay, nothing there. Matsushiba clan says, hey, who the hell are you? Akiyama says, name's Akiyama from Sky Finance. Always a pleasure. Matsushiba clan says, Sky Finance? What's a loan shark like you doing here? Akiyama says, look, I don't mean to offend, but I couldn't care less about punks like you. Midorikawa, where is he? Matsushiba clan says, huh? What do you want with the boss? Akiyama says, no one borrows anything from me without a contract. Matsushiba clan asks, the fuck are you talking about? Akiyama says, I don't have time for this. You have something that belongs to me. You're going to give me back my registry and let Kido-chan go, or else. Matsushiba clan says, like hell we are. How about we bash your damn skull in instead? Akiyama says, trust me, it'll be a whole lot easier if you just return what you borrowed, but suit yourself. Guess it's just one of those days. Would appear to be, yes. How do you like it, my friend? You didn't think you would. That's a silver bat. Right, okay, right, yep. Destructible objects. You may come across glowing objects that bar your way, and attack these objects to destroy them. And that's now a memory. What happened to my bat? Akiyama says, whoa. Homeless man says, this place is ours. Yakuza ain't welcome. Akiyama says, relax pal. I'm no Yakuza. I'm a moneylender. One who has business with Dorikawa, the guy who's been hanging out down here. Homeless man says, oh, sorry about that. This place used to be our home until the Hatsushiba came along and kicked us onto the curb. There was some kind of ruckus going on, so my buddy and I figured we'd try and take the place back while they were distracted. He ended up just chickening out, though. Guess that ruckus is you, then? Akiyama says, I was hoping to settle things peacefully, but that doesn't seem to be working out too well. I suggest you get out while you still can. I can take it from here. Homeless man says, no way, I'm tagging along whether you like it or not. Akiyama says, don't be ridiculous, it's not safe for you here. Tsukagawa says, I'm not going to let you push me around like some senile old fool. The name's Kokoro Tsukagawa, and I'm going to punish those Yakuza bastards for everything they've done. Akiyama says, Tsukagawa says, before those thugs showed up, this was practically a homeless paradise. The closest thing most of us have ever had to a real home, a real family. But they had to go and ruin it. Not like some fancy-pants rich boy would understand how it feels. He starts to tear up. Akiyama says, alright, you can come with me if you want. Tsukagawa says, really? Wow, thanks pal. Just stand back and let old Kokoro show you how it's done. Akiyama says, knock yourself out. Oh, I got my bat back. Look at that. Oh no, that's the way I came up and almost got blindsided. So, Akiyama says, hey there friends, you wouldn't happen to know where I could find a Hatsushima-san, would you? Tsukagawa says, give us back our home, you filth. Yakuza says, ugh, first the old geezer upstairs, now this. Guess the only way to shut you up is to kill you. Kobayashi, I thought we sent you packing just before. Oh, we have more to deal with in here, do we? Oh, he's down. Oh, developing heat actions. For some heat actions, after using it many times, you may discover a new additional technique. You can check which heat actions have this potential on the ability screen. Ooh. Your nose is probably the other side of your brain by now, sir. Just saying. Gee, there's a lot of weapons in this corridor. Kindly don't stick your nose in where it's not wanted, sir. Oh. Buck, 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 Bucky! What do you think? Is there an ambush on the other side of this door? I think there is. Akiyama says, Ah, crap. He locked the door before he ran off. Tsukagawa says, Oh, I know. My buddy Kakuta should still be around here somewhere. He used to be a locksmith. A door like this would be a cinch for him. The only problem is, he's a real yellow belly. A coward. He's probably hiding somewhere around here, waiting for all this to blow over. Akiyama says, Guess we'd better go find him then. Come on. So I guess we're going off in search for a chicken locksmith. Sorry about that little pause. Okay, he's not through there. Oh. Yeah, no, there you go. Okay, he's not in there. So he's got to be somewhere between this room and the locked door. Like right there, for example. Akiyama asks, this him? Tsukagawa says, So this is where you've been holed up. What gives, Kaku-san? Kakuta says, Suki-san, you scared the shit out of me, almost literally. Tsukagawa says, Hey, no complaining, you were supposed to help me fight these punks, remember? Kakuta says, But I'm so scared. I talk a big game, but I practically piss myself when the punches start actually flying. Tsukagawa says, Thankfully, we don't need you to fight. Now come on, you're coming with us. Akiyama says, There's a door we need you to open. Kakuta says, Oh, that's it? Okay, but make sure you clear everyone out before you call me over. The last thing I need is a dirty pair of underwear to distract me from my lockpicking. Okay. Oh, look. Some more people arrived. You planning to help me, Suda? Su. Okay, he's down, he's gone. Akiyama calls, should be safe for your pal Kakuta now. Tsukagawa goes, you got that right. Those creeps were no match for us. Anyway, I'll go get Kaku-san. Be back in a jiff. That is a very interesting pose, Kakuta-san. Sorry once again. Akiyama asks, think you can open this one, Kaku-san? Kakuta says, let me see. Ah, it's one of these. Yeah, this shouldn't be a problem. And he opened it somehow. Yakuza says, and there you have it. Akiyama says, very nice, thanks. I guess we're going on. Up the stairs. Oh, not one of you blokes. Sorry about doing there. Akiyama says, not another one. Time for Kaku-san to work his magic. Akiyama asks, think you can open this one too, Kaku-san? Kakuta says, alright, give me a sec. And he does it. Kakuta says, voila. Akiyama says, thanks, Kaku-san. Oh, yeah. Yeah, boy. We only just got through. Okay. Akiyama sighs. Hey, Kaku-san. What about this one, Kaku-san? Kakuta says, on it. There you go. Akiyama says, thanks. Oh. Okay. Yakuza asks, the hell are you doing down here, Gramps? Minamita says... Minamita says, stop, what are you doing to my precious machine? Yakuza asks, what do you care about a broke down piece of junk? Now get the hell out of here, this is our turf. It's Christopher Lloyd. Tsukagawa says, Dr. Minamita, you've come back too. Minamita says, Tsukagawa-san, perfect timing. Kakuta says, the doc used to help us out back when we lived down here. Mind giving us a hand? Akiyama says, sure, what's one more fight? Hey buddy, I'm tagging in for the old guy. That's Shiba-san's waiting for me, so let's make this quick, alright? Yakuza says, cocky little shit, ain't you? Alright, fine. I'll kill you. Then go to work on your dipshit little friends. Well, that was unfair. But as long as you got yours, I suppose. Yeah. Bye, Hirose. It was kind of crowded in here anyway. Minamata says, my machine might come in handy if I can actually fix the darn thing. You're a real lifesaver, by the way. Thank you. Akiyama says, glad I could help. That's some machine you have there. Minamita says, you want to know about my machine? I'm so glad you asked. This is the IF7-R, a creation of mine that allows you to relive your... Akiyama says, hey, I actually don't have that much time to chat right now. As for you... The Yakuza says, shit. Akiyama says, I take it Hatsushiba-san's somewhere up ahead. Yakuza says, don't worry, damn right he is. It's not going to be the cakewalk you're expecting though. He's gonna wreck your scrawny ass. Akiyama says, sorry Suke-san, but I'll be going it alone from here. Sukagawa says, hey, I get it. You're a big help. Just be careful, you hear? Akiyama says, I will, thanks. Okay, Kaku-san, one more door. Kakuta says, sure thing. And opens the door for us. Akiyama says, thanks. See you guys later. And off we go. We got a toughness double Z. Again, not really what I wanted, but will do. Yeah, that's good enough. Well, let's learn the heat actions. Pole crush. An elegant technique where you grab a pole and use that momentum to crash down on an enemy. And wall smash. Push an enemy against a wall and unleash a kick combo. Mastery may unlock a follow-up technique. Triangle against enemies near a door. Right. Let's enter, shall we? Oh, this is a pretty flash office. Anyway. Akiyama says, Kido-chan. Kido says, Akiyama-san. Midorikawa says, hey, you're good. Real dedication to the job. Akiyama-san. Akiyama says, Midorikawa-san, I presume. And I take it that's the Hatsushiba clan chairman. I don't know what you want with Kido-chan and my registry, but what do you say you give them back? Midorikawa says, you heard the man, boss. What's it going to be? Hatsushiba says, Akiyama, was it? I'm afraid you've got the wrong idea. Akiyama asks, oh yeah? How do you figure? Hatsushiba says, you didn't lend us shit, you gave it to us. So, you see, you can't ask for it back. That'd be just plain rude. Akiyama says, oh, why didn't you just say so? If I gave it to you, that's different. Hatsushiba says, damn straight, glad we're seeing eye to eye. Akiyama says, absolutely. Now I'm going to ask you to give it back to me. Hatsushiba says, what? Akiyama says, just playing along with your little game. Now give it back before things get ugly. Midorikawa laughs. This guy's a riot. You seriously think you could take us? Akiyama says, we won't know unless I try, will we? Midorikawa says, oh, I definitely know, but hey, why not? I'll send you back to your bitch secretary in a body bag. I see. Apparently you will. That chair is just flying everywhere. We've got a stem and an X, apparently. Yeah, enjoy this walk. Yeah. Nighty night. Where'd you get a chainsaw? level up. Go us! Now perhaps I can use that chainsaw on you.
さてと、会長さ
待て。分かった。顧客名は返す。
ん、あれそれはもらったものじゃなかったでしたっけ？返さなくても結構ですよ。あんたをぶちのめしてから勝手にもらっていきますから。
すまん、この通りだ。勘弁してくれ。
しょうがないね。それじゃあどうしてこんなことをしたのか全部話してもらいましょうか。
Shiba says I was doing Shibata a favor. He wanted me to help find some bitch named Lily. Akiyama asked, "Did you just say Lily?" Kido says, "What's Shibata want with her?" Hatsushiba says, "Hell if I know, but he looked really pissed when he was talking about her." Akiyama asks, "So that's why you took my registry?" Hatsushiba says, "Yeah, we knew she'd come to see you. If she came as a client, you'd have her contact info in your registry." Kido says, "That still doesn't explain why Shibata wants her so badly." Akiyama says, And we're back out on the streets. I don't know what we did, Matsushiba, but anyway. Kido says, "Sorry to put you through all this, Akiyama-san." Akiyama says, No, don't mention it. You know I'm no good at all that sentimental crap. Besides, it's not like it's your fault. Even Hana-chan couldn't stop those guys. Kido says, "Still." Akiyama says, "Look, I got my registry back and Hana-chan got off with nothing but a little bump on the head. We're good, alright?" Kido says, "Yeah. I should probably get going. Thanks again." And he buggers off slowly. Akiyama says, "Phew, another busy day. I think I'll take a breather back at the office." That does sound like a good idea. So, actually, are there anything... No new, no new side stories. That's the one. No new side stories. What do we want? Let us take triple finishing kick, shall we? Excellent. And start heading back to the office. Yeah, I don't know, there just seem like less people around in general in Yakuza 4 Remastered than in previous titles. We're back inside the office. Akiyama says to himself, "Today's Lily-chan's last day at the club. She has to sell a total of 3 million in 3 days. I should drop by and see if she needs any pointers." And apparently it's the next day. Maybe it's the fact that they despawn quicker than in previous titles. Don't know. Anyway, yes, it is you. Man says, long time no see, Pops. It's me, remember? Come on, how could you forget? Say, how about you loan me a little dough? Well, cough it up already, arsehole. I mean, that's your opinion. Bet you come over here. I'll throw you like that. Come on, my friend. How about I invite you to stand up? And you come over here, please, sir. Oh, for real? Oh well. A throw-in's just as good as anything else. Man says, my apologies. I could have sworn you were someone else. Should make up for my mistake. You got a weather-worn 5,000 yen. Yeah. Okay, whatever. Whatever. Alright, we'll call an end to the episode here, as that was a nice and fairly compact episode about Kido. So, yeah, if you've made it this far, thank you very much for watching. We hope you have a wonderful day, and we will see you in the next episode.